Hi, what's up? I took a shower. Can you tell? Giskun. Yes. I'm still wearing the same clothes because where am I going? Where? Anyway, righto. So in the previous part, please go check it out, gauge your bearings. Look at how nicely my wig is sitting. I don't know why it wasn't sitting this cool earlier. Dig. I think good direction. What do you think? Now it looks wholly like it's my own. When I take it off, I must be careful to look at what in the world I did. Anyway, cool beans and bananas. My throat hurts because I've been talking for like 10 years. I really hope to seal this message today, but we don't know. Maybe we'll have tomorrow as a final day 3, and I will still be wearing the same clothes. Okay, cool beans and bananas, you guys. Yes, I met this guy at the mall, y'all. Like, I told you in the previous part, so please go check it out, that he rocked up to come and collect his wallet. Yes, I was giddy the whole time when I was showering, because, you know, every time these chats, these conversations, when I have them, it just wells up so much, like nostalgia. Anyway, whatever. But like, all these guys hurt me. You know, life would be so nice if all you do is just memories. Don't live like people do. Just, you know, reminisce. That's all. That's all. Just reminisce. Ain't nobody gotta hurt anybody. Everybody moves on in their own direction. Not everybody ends up married. You know, the girl that you fell in love with in high school ends up married to another guy. Like, it's okay. Alright. Yeah. But tina ngiyathakathwa la emgaqweni, abanye bayabulalwa abantu, abanye abantwana ngemithi, wara fish paste. Anyway, whatever. So the nostalgia was all up in like wreaking havoc in the sister grill, and the sister was like, "Eish san, go showering." But now I'm here and I'm just loving what is going on with my skin. Like, what, you guys? Like I improve even when I've got pimples. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. Right? So I've started like a new regimen, so that's what's good. This dude, I meet him at the mall. I see him, and wait again, deja vu type vibes. Everything about him was like my ex. It's like the devil was recreating an alternative version of what I already wasted my time doing for 5 whole years. It was uncanny, the similarities, guys. Literally uncanny. Here it is that this dude ublomile by the water feature, just in the same way that my ex mega blome, but he wasn't by a water feature yena mega. It was inside the mall, like Wimpy or something, but like near the Wimpy. But we ended up having our first date go JB's corner. He was just outside the JB's corner. My ex had taken off amazazawa. He had taken off his shades and hung them in his like shirt that was a V-neck. Okay, yeah, that's what's good. And he was wearing flip-flops with some like cute toes. That's what's good. That was my ex. Yeah, that was indoors. However, my ex was indoors, but because this guy was still outside by the water feature, Kotle water, and he was still with his shades on, and the shades that he was wearing were also Ray-Bans. Both of them, it was Ray-Bans, and both of them V-neck top, both of them jeans. The dude, his top was white. However, my ex's one was tan, but it was literally exactly the same sort of kind of look. It did not dawn on me, Ubuti, literally history is repeating itself, and my oh my, by the grace of God, I was not endured through. Okay, so here it is that this, but like, catch on to this, we almost anyway, whatever. I meet him at the mall. He's chilling. He's never been to this side of town, just like my ex, never been to this side of town, never been to that particular mall. When I was like, we're gonna have lunch, our first date, go to this particular mall. It was the first time my ex, all those years ago, coming to that particular mall, and so too was it the first time for this guy coming to this particular mall. It's uncanny, like I said. And they were brought there, both of them, by me. However, on that, I was having a date with my ex, whereas that guy was coming to collect his wallet. I gave him the name Zama. Uzama was coming to collect the wallet yake, right? Very well. I walked towards him, and I'm wearing a small little kitten heel. Zama was already tall, okay? And he towered over me in flats, and he also still towered over me when I was wearing heels, right? And I liked that about him. But it turns out he did not like my height. He wanted a short girl for whatever reason. And he made that clear when we were walking towards the pay station in the mall. Here it is that I meet this guy, and I'm thinking I'm just gonna hand him his wallet. Wallet, right? And he's gonna go. Remember the night before, he decided that he's gonna drive all the way back to Rediport from Pretoria just to fetch a wallet, when he could have just done a U-turn and gone and come back to my apartment to collect his wallet and gone, and you know, no, but he wanted to see me again, and I didn't mind because I still liked him. But you know, after seeing that message on Facebook with his girlfriend posting on his wall like that, teasing him basically for losing the match, his team had lost the match, I realized he wasn't sad because of the match, because that's what they do. Like, he's not sensitive that that way, but he was sad because he was basically torn between two girls. I'm in love with these two chicks. I don't know which one to pick. Am I confused? I don't want to lose one of them. Am I confused because I don't want to choose one of them? Yeah, he's on that tip. And that torn state of his, because of the why he would have to shatter his life to be with me, I believe is what made him sad that night. The why he became all of a sudden kind of somber. He basically overcame his somber state, or he struggled really to let go underneath, like in his hair, and he still want to let me go. And the way to basically take bubblegum out of hair is to cut the hair off. Like, yeah, pain gotta happen. That's what's good. You're gonna have to lose some hair, and that's what had to happen between the two of us. And I understood it. I also knew that I couldn't be with this guy because of reasons that I had highlighted in my previous parts, and I'm not gonna highlight them because I keep on recapping and it takes up a whole bunch of my space, my time. You're gonna have to check out the previous part. So he is there. I go to him and I'm thinking I'm just gonna hand him his wallet, but then he's like, okay, how do I get out of the mall? I've never been here before. And I realized that, oh snap, no, this guy is a newbie. But yeah, okay, you might be a newbie in this mall, but when you peruse a brand spanking new mall as a newbie there, you find your way out, you find your way in. Please, dude. It's like he wanted me to give him a tour as to where to pay for his ticket. And for me it was like, okay, I don't mind walking with you, like proper, it's cool. I'll show you where the pay station was. At that stage we wore, I don't know why Rashapiles come around 10 around, but we went to some pay station. I believe it's because they were yet to put a pay station at that particular exit. I don't know what, but we went around the mall for whatever reason. No. He wanted to go to the ATM. Yes, I believe it was like a Standard Bank or something, like a preferred ATM. So I walked with him in the mall. That's why we went inside the mall. He was like, oh, where's the nearest such and such an ATM? I was like, it's okay, let's go together, I'll show you. I went to the mall with my friend. Remember, I thought this guy was just collecting a wallet, so I agreed to meet with my girl, type thing. And I was with my girl when he called me. I went to go and meet up with him, and I was expecting to rejoin again with my girl of which had driven all the way from the south of Johannesburg just to like hang out with me, come to my apartment. My girl wanted to go my apartment, right? And I was like gonna hang out with her. I was gonna give him my apartment keys to go to my apartment. I'll beg Ali one if at all this guy wanted to hang. I didn't know that that's what was going on, so I literally agreed to meet with my girl. The two of us were gonna do whatever. It was a Sunday, remember? The day before was a Saturday. Go Soccer City. I went to church. I'm this girl that's busy going to church every Sunday. I went to church, and so I was wearing churchy clothes. It was clear. And when I met with him, I was looking pretty much like a person wearing churchy clothes. In fact, I wish I could show you the outfit I was wearing on that day because I remember it like it was, I don't know, the back of my hand. I have photos on Facebook with me like rocking that particular outfit on that particular day. I took pics. Anyway, whatever. Right? I went to churchy vibes. That's what's good. And I told him that. He was like, whoa, like, because he was all casual, cool, wearing flip-flops. I was rocking church gear, but not like yo, I had fashion sense, okay? Very well. And he was like, and I told him, he was like, oh, okay. He looked visibly like not annoyed, because really that would be frankly kind of like Ike Turner abusive. What are you doing? But okay, I see you're one of those. Cool, whatever. Almost to suggest on some I can go on a yesterday, the night before, the day before, he was busy telling me his experiences with church, and I still went. I was like, I like you, but whatever, dude. First and foremost, there is no incentive for me to even abandon my attempts at Jesus, because you're not even trying to be like honest with me as to what you're trying to do out here. So really, frankly, if I want to do church and you want to do your girl, do you. Remember, I'm Deja Lo for your Jacques. Can we get a room? And we don't gotta tell nobody. It's just you, it's just me, and it's just you. And what we're doing here is private. Yeah, I know you really, really want it, but you belong to somebody or both wanna be together, but we can't act on it. You belong to somebody else, Well, basically, girlfriend, I'm single, dude. So in my singlehood, and if I wanna be a church girl, cause that's where good men find good girls, I'm going. If you want to take me out of church, you gonna have to, I don't know, like make it clear that you're gonna have to abandon your pursuit of religion because I want you. And well, he didn't make that statement clear, so I stayed pursuing Jesus. At that stage, I wasn't saved. I didn't realize that would have been a taxing mistake that would have had eternal consequences. But God made sure that he was just all up and ambivalent, uncertain what's going on here, shaky on funny little groundy waters. So I was like, I guess I'll give you a wallet and you be on your way, brother. like that guy zinies. Anyway, whatever. So I go in the mall and I basically, give this guy a tour of the mall. He could have found the ATM on his own, but it's cool. Give him a tour, and during the time when we were walking, he's like, "Why are you so tall today?" And he looks down at my feet. He's like, "Oh, you're wearing heels." And literally, he went out. He said this to me. He was like, "I prefer my women short." I was like, "What in the world is going on here?" Where's Alang, Mona? I'm laughing, but I was so sad when he said, "Hey, I see these guys and the little man syndrome. I don't know what's going on." He was like, "I prefer my women short." I remember in my mind thinking, "But you haven't made me your woman. What are you doing here? Are you running me through the mud? Are you dragging me through the mud? Are you stringing me along?" It's almost as if though he wanted me to beg for us to be together, and I had let him walk on. He was the one that called me. He was the one that took me on a date the day before. And now here it is that he, first of all, is telling me we like again, oh, and now he's telling me he prefers his women short. I'm like, I guess maybe you do have a short woman in your life. Indeed, she is short. I saw them next together on Facebook. She is short, right? I'm tall. Like, really, I can't change that. This is not like a breast reduction where you can, I don't know, like cut femur. That's what's good. You can't just, if your man prefers small boobs, go and just have your boobs reduced. So if he wants big boobs, he can just get big boobs. Ain't nobody out here in these streets trying to literally chop up my femur bone or my whatever. Is it femur? The one that's mumantung, or is the femur the one that's or whatever? Mumantung. Can't be chopping off my legs, dude. So I mean, we are tall. I can't go for a torso reduction surgery. I can't go for a neck reduction surgery. I cannot go for a thigh bone reduction surgery. I can't go for a foot chopping surgery just to make sure that at least I'm as tall as basically I get to the point of my ankles. So since that's not gonna happen, if you don't prefer tall girls, then you've just made it clear to me that you don't want me. Last night I pretty much said it in my bones and in my members that this ain't gonna work anyway. One, because of the taboo with the boyfriends that I have that had in the past that I know, and secondly, the fact that at the stadium the whole time when you were busy fraternizing with me, you were chatting with your girl to a point where on Facebook at the end of the match where your team lost, she was teasing you. So I mean, you're like playing the circus here, juggling two females, and I don't really know how to be a side piece. I've frankly never been one before, and I'm not about to start now. So you don't like tall girls? Well, I mean, I guess that's pretty ideal since there is no plastic surgeon that shortens people. We're not going to like humor you over here. I was sad by that. Didn't understand why he was offending me. He just had these low, below the belt things that he used to say to me. And I don't even think this guy just naturally glided in that kind of vitriol. It was because he was involved in darkness. Like I told you, my ex was a really great guy that would never offend or insult me even in the slightest. But towards the end of our relationship, he just threw random insults. And one day he told me, I'm getting old, because I was using some cream on my face that exfoliated the living daylights out of me until smiling caused wrinkles around my the sides of my eyes, basically me looking like I got crow's feet. And he was like, "Oh, what's off liking?" with like an attitude, stanking it up a storm in my grill. And I brushed it off because he had never been that mean to me like that. Remember, this guy's like my ex in a parallel universe. So he is the version of my ex that I met once he had already allowed himself to dabble with darkness. So he was already into just kind of insulting and offending me. I'm a woman being convicted by the Holy Spirit, and this dude just kept on manifesting demons in my grill. I don't think he was just naturally that mean. I don't think so. I really don't. It was not part of his character suite, and I only conclude that because of the similarities that he shared with my ex. So these people who let themselves go out and get taken by demonic spirits, what are you doing exactly? Your personality changes. Anyhow, so this guy basically told me he prefers these women short, hinting to me that you're not even my type anyway. He's like passive aggressive, and I have not even done anything to ward him off or turn him down. He's just rejecting me because clearly I was pursuing Jesus and Jesus was pursuing me, and he was rejecting me without me even saying anything negative against him. And all these vitriolic statements he would say, I would just take them a little punch and I just run with it. I walked him to the ATM, he did his thing, and then after withdrawing cash from the ATM, this is when he puzzled me. He surprised the living daylights out of me. This guy was having such an internal war, didn't know what to do. He did not want to let me go, but at the same time he was trying to let me go. I'm thinking I'm meeting this dude to give him his wallet, uyahamba. And then he was like, perhaps do you perhaps want to sit down and have some drinks? And I'm like, whoa, dude, okay, so you just asked me on a second date. He wanted it all along. He wanted to hang with me another day. He did not want to let me go. Like I said, I was bubblegum in his hair. I either get to stay or you chop me off, dude. You gotta have a new hairstyle now with bubblegum, or I gotta go. Because, like, you gotta make a choice. Make a decision. But I also was like, even if you were to make a choice to be with me, you're gonna allow yourself to fall in love with a woman who you're gonna spend all day now at a restaurant chatting with, okay? That you're gonna find out dated two of your friends. And the one whose heart she broke after kissing him, yeah, you're still close with, and you've got pics with him on Facebook. And once you find that out, over and above it, she is busy pursuing Jesus in a way that's gonna give you a bad case of nostalgia of your ex-girlfriend that passed away. So, like, this can't work. You're gonna fall in love with something, you gotta let go. I knew I had to let go. I just knew it in my bone of bones. But he wasn't quite there yet, and most especially because he didn't have the other extra information that was like literally running circles in my brain. The one with the boyfriends. So I was just like, okay, dude, like, Wanglan's out, got them where you want to hang out at the JB's corner. You should have told me prior to us meeting that we're actually gonna sit down. You should have just let me know. Then I would have known not to call my girl, or I would have known to just give my girl my keys to bake at my apartment because her oven was all broken and tattered. So I would have known not to stand my female friend up. That's what's good. The chickie was go harakum books busy. I look up Christian literature. And I was about to stand her up. And I mean, she's my girl. I mean, we know as women, like, you know what? If we gotta leave to be with a man, we gotta leave to be with a man. I'm sorry, girl. This date of ours is we're gonna have to postpone for next week. She would have understood. It's not like I would have stood her up. I would have just given her my apartment keys to basically show her her way around my kitchen. That it would have been just that basic. And I was prepared to down tools for this, drop everything for this guy, and risk basically being tarnished with status of, yo, I Garabo, you've been around. Once he finds out that one of these boys that he's close with I used to date, even though we were together for like 1 month, and the guy who broke my virginity, he also knows. So yeah, I was prepared to take that risk and see how it unfolds. But in order for me to take such risks, you gotta put your cards on the table. What in the world? John Legend, I'm gonna give you all of me. Cards on the table, we're both showing hearts, risking it all though it's hard, cause I want all of you. Oh yeah, if you was happy to sing me that song, if I went to fill out, all I heard was twing, 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 twing. I was your Chrissy Teigen, baby. That's what's good. Like, I'm leaving it all, risking it all, the two of us against the world. But you gotta make that clear. Instead, you be out in these streets, dissing, teasing my height, teasing my heels, my church activity. What are you doing? I'm a tall woman. You've known it from the day that you met me. You know I got a model physique, so please don't lie. Like, you either in or you're out. Now, Skato doya kata mo boto batla dlala hape. Joe. Anyway, whatever. So this dude batla dlala all save again. I'm not going to be ping-ponged between amadota. I come from a very serious long-term relationship that ended, you know, recklessly. So you better pamper, sister, and love me. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. Like, hey, you are supposed to. I'm telling you, I'm not doing it. We're not that in love yet. I am restraining myself from loving you. I will not do it unless you give it all to me. Hi, bust your life, like literally, like break it up, tear it apart for me, and I'll do the same thing. We gonna be these rebels trying to fall in love. I will do it, cause now me, I stand to lose a lot by being with you. So skatlong baragongwara. Anyway, I got he was fly, y'all. Said he was so handsome. Anyway, fine, dude. He then is like, do you want to sit and have drinks? At which point, I'm like, I'm here and I'm there. I want to hang with this guy. Like, I like him. He wanted that from the get-go. He should have said that that's what's going on. He didn't say it. So I tell him, I'm like, oh, I'm here with a friend of mine. And she's like literally waiting for me to come books. As I wish I hadn't said that, because I could have just been like, yeah, sure, just gonna make a phone call, wait a little minute, be like, girl, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to like come and get my car keys. Not my car keys, come and get my apartment keys. I'm going on a date, I'm sorry, I can't. That's why Pina Elea Tony Braxton. Anyway, remember at the very beginning of the series, those songs that Tony Braxton, that one, all night with you there beside me. You know the music video, yeah, Tony Braxton, there's this dude like who delivers pizza that she decides to leave with. She gives him a rating of a 10 out of 10. Yeah, and she's like, I'm sorry ladies, I'm leaving you, I'm going with him, and I don't care that he's a pizza delivery dude. I like this guy so much that zonke lazy issues, these facts that encircled his life and mine, that made it low-key impossible for us to be with each other. I was like, he's a 10 out of 10, I'm sorry. ladies, I'm running with him. Whatever the ramifications, I'll take it to you. Take it. But he had to kind of want to be left, like taken by me. He had to be prepared to leave with me into the sunset against all odds. I had a lot to lose. So did he. Don't nobody out in these streets be in denial about that. We both know what's going on, Lana. It's a scandal. So if we're gonna be in a scandal, we better ride into the sunset scandalously together. You don't get to make me look like I'm stealing you from a woman when you know you're the one that can't stop thinking about me. Please. Brother, I was happy to let you go. Brother Menmar. So I should have done that with my friend, but I didn't think on my feet, know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I didn't. That was actually Jesus. He made sure I didn't think on my feet. I didn't cancel with my girl. Instead, I told this guy that my girl is like at Kumbooks. She's proper waiting, like she's in the mall. I'm gonna go reconnect with her. And he was like, I'm sorry. Like, no, I had no idea. He wanted to hang. And at that stage, I was like, oh, I actually want to hang with him. Very well. He goes and grabs cash. And then, I show him around. I can Todisa, what do you call this? The pay station and whatnot, pays for his ticket. I'm like, peace in the Middle East. We hug, and like, y'all, that was pretty much the end of that. Okay, I go to the Kumbooks. I'm like, girl, okay, this guy wanted to go on a date and whatnot, and my friend is like, what, girl, don't nobody abandon date, it's fine, I can go to your apartment by myself. My girl is already like approving of what happened, and I was like, oh, even my friend was also like on board. But then I was like, no, it's okay, he's already left. Yeah, okay, so why that guy was busy glitching and twitching and pulling those stunts on me, very incredibly ambivalent. Didn't know what was going on here. Attachment style vibes with a baby, with a mom. Like, he was literally anxious, ambivalent, and I could not understand what was going on there. Except I did, to a certain extent. I reached certain conclusions. He went on his merry way to do whatever he did. Remember, this is a Sunday, guys. Sontaha, I get Sunday. He had asked me to have drinks with him at JB's corner. JB's, yes, that's also another thing that was ironic and similar to my ex and our first date. We had drinks, we ate and had drinks at JB's corner, and the restaurant that he was basically earmarking for us to hang out at, he was earmarking JB's corner too. He was trying to repeat history. I told you that my ex and I shut that restaurant down at midnight at 2300 hours. That's when we had to leave, because like we were among the second last people to leave. To get out, they were already sweeping. We closed the mall and the restaurant. So that was about to happen again, except it wouldn't have happened again, because he would have cut the date short due to what I would later come to learn on Monday. No, it wasn't even Monday, guys. I was like at my apartment on Facebook on my computer. I was on my computer. It was not at work. We used to have dongles. We had free data. I didn't have a smartphone because I was that girl. Whatever, like I was rebelling. I was a rebel. So I was checking Facebook out on my laptop. Yamsibits. Basically also just preparing for work the next day. And I went into Facebook to see what he's doing. Tonight. Remember the night before? He was chatting with his girlfriend wrote on his Facebook wall, Pirates lost. Pirates won, Chiefs lost. So I was like, I don't know why I did not just get out, like continue to be deactivated on Facebook and not look at what this guy's doing and move on, right? I don't know why I didn't do that, but something told me, check what he's doing tonight, because he's also got activity that you can surveil, and he's not afraid to show the fullness of his life, because after all, that's how you guys hooked up, that's how you connected. You became friends on Facebook. If anything, you invited him, he accepted your invitation. Whatever, you accepted his invitation. There's like a lot of activity outside going on and I can't deal. He accepted your invitation, and well, upon the invitations being accepted, he got to see that you're a woman that is fully in a relationship, and you also got to see that he's a man that is fully in a relationship. So from the very get-go, y'all have been having y'all's relationships in front of each other, and so y'all have known that y'all are immoral in even trying to like look at one another. Y'all have known that you are disregarding human emotions out here in these streets. So really and truly, he gets to carry on doing what under heaven he's doing with his girl, while I carry on being single because I dumped my boyfriend. And when he continues to do what he does with his girl right in front of my uncomfortable eyes, I don't get to be like, you're cheating on me, because really, frankly, I am the other woman. It stung. And I am in the life of me, I've never been a side piece. And I got to get a taste of what side piece life is like. I was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. No, it's cool. I'm not doing it. I give badly. Scandal. There is this show. Scandal. Yeah, Olivia Pope. But because because South Africa has a show in Webabizang Scandal. When they were playing it, airing it on South African television, they called it something else. The Fixer. Yeah, that's what's good. I did enjoy that show for like all of 5 seconds until I like lost access to television, right? Yeah, Olivia Pope. It's also quite like ridiculous. But anyway, whatever. Not really honoring of God, but Karabo has been suffering a lot and just compromising as a result. But yeah, of course, Scandal. There is this case, yeah, Olivia Pope, where she has to like fix a circumstance where a married man has got like basically a lifetime mistress that has been his mistress for like a good 20 years or whatever, and he passes away, dies in the middle of their dalliance, sexual activity in bed, while he has tied her with like, you know, handcuffs and what to a bed, and he dies on her, and he's a big man, and she is, like I said, tied. Go hoteling. So she is like, oh, what am I gonna do? This is a married man. I don't want anybody finding out. This is gonna be a scandal. I don't want hotel staff finding out. What fish paste, etc. That's what's good. So ultimately, when housekeeping rocks up, this chick is like, I need you to please grab me my cell phone. My like long-term boyfriend, who is married to another woman, passed away on me in a hotel, and I need you to fix this, Olivia Pope, because this man is a prolific political figure, and frankly, we can't have anybody finding out that this is what's going on with him. This woman was like a whole lawyer, so why in the world would you allow yourself to be that kind of fool? Type establishment thing, and they didn't want his wife to find out. However, this woman started to feel like, you know what, I'm gonna confess because my child has rights, because she had a child with this man as a mistress. She was like, my child has rights to this man's estate. I don't want my kid being left out. And Olivia Pope was like, you want me to fix this thing for you, so let's just get real, sister mistress. Herein lies the deal. I understand that you are upset and you feel robbed because much of your life was taken away from you because you allowed yourself to fall in love with a married man. You always got the 26th of December instead of Christmas. You always got the day before Easter instead of Easter. You always got the day after his birthday to celebrate it instead of his actual birthday. You basically got the scraps, and now you feel as if though you want your son to inherit whatever it is that this man would have left out behind. But you need to understand what you're standing to lose here. You are a lawyer, and quite a respectable one, and you're going to lose your reputation for having an affair with this man. It's going to decimate you. You would do better to just silently disappear, and I will see if I can't have a conversation with his wife to basically cut your son a deal that this might not be a scandal, because everybody wants to believe that this man died a good, nice, wholesome man that left behind that, you know, by his wife and children who are all mourning. Everybody did not want this like scandal to basically leak, so they all agreed to just kind of, you know, do a little underhanded shoddy deal there where the son would then get an inheritance, because after all, he was his actual child. Here it is that I got a taste of what it's like to get scraps from a man that wants to make me a side piece. And when Olivia Pope said that, the scandal happened years later from that particular date. So I'm not speaking in retrospect here, but prospectively. Finally, when I watched Scandal and I was listening to this woman talking about how it is that she gets the 26th of December instead of Christmas, and she gets the next day after Easter instead of the Easter weekend, blah blah blah, and how she gets this guy's next day of the birthday, and how he has to like slip out and sneak out and whatnot, and the son does not have his dad the way that he wants his dad. I was like, ooh, that's what it was like to be with Zama. I was not with Zama, but I wanted to be with him, and I could tell that this thing is going to result in me being a side piece of mistress. I had knock that I would end up being like a lifetime mistress. Hard knock. He likes me. If anything, his feelings are just bordering on love at this point. So he would never let me go. He would never let me go. He was gonna go on right ahead. Yo, chat that woman, and like I would go then from being side piece to mistress, and I'm like, what? I'm so fly. I'm young. I'm beautiful. I've never been married. I am some guy's like absolute like dream come true. I might not want to stay with my ex, but I belong to somebody else. I belong to some man that's going to give me Christmas, give me Easter, even though I don't necessarily celebrate Easter anymore, because, you know, I've kind of learned its pagan traditions, and even Christmas. But I'm trying to make a point here, so don't come at me, those of you who are like, it's a pagan religion. Come on, man, like, we'll get to that eventually. Like, relax. I want Christmas, and I want Easter, and I want his birthdays to be celebrated by me. I want our kids to be flailed on the television set as this is the whole big fat chunky family, and this man is survived by his wife Karabo and his son and daughter ABC. Should he pass away, God forbid, before me. Yeah, I want the #1 slot, and I knew that I was fly beautiful enough to get the #1 slot. Never mind beauty, but internally too. I was just the ride or die, the perfect girl, and here it is that I had some dude that was messing up, and it would be clear later on in the future that it would be spoken of him as one who is the one that messed up, and that he's the one that lost a good girl. But if I end up this dude's mistress, all my glory and all my splendor would go to getting the 26th of December. It would go to getting the 26th of December, and it would go to basically cutting a deal under wraps with a wife that does not want the scandal of his husband cheating with me. to like leak in the media, and so therefore I'd be given a whole bunch of attitude from a wife that is bereaved that her husband had a lifetime mistress. I was gonna be this rando's lifetime mistress because I was gonna love him that much, and he was gonna break the living daylights out of my uncomfortable heart on his wedding day while I deserve to wear the white dress. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. This guy was going to make out of me a lifetime mistress. Do you know why? Precisely because he would have found out that I dated one of his closest friends, broke up with him to be with another one of his friends, his closest friend, first kiss, the one that I left him for, broke my virginity. He was gonna be like, on top of that, you've kind of been around my crew, and I'm like, because Nikki virgin that had never been kissed, and it just so happened that my first kiss happened to be with one of your friends, and so too was my first guy. Bottom line is, because it was both my first, I don't qualify as a hoe. Kodwa he was gonna use it. Mengibona this thing rearing its ugly head, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. I saw it coming from a mile away. Torpedo. It was like a hellfire missile headed right for my face. I was like, I'm not doing it. We ain't doing this. I'm not trying to. Nah. I want Christmas, and I want Easter. I want his birthdays, and I want my children to be number one. Not that I am content to be irrechte, because frankly my husband shouldn't be cheating, but in the highly unlikely event that I should find myself in that situation, I will be the one getting Christmas Day. We're not doing this. I was like, okay, you're not cool with the prospect of for Minaiza, while I would billerize mine. You love me too much to let the fact that I literally dated two of your boys separate us, but you were gonna use that to make me somebody that you just can't let go. We're not doing it. I'm sorry, Butwam. Futhi, I got swag, I've got a beautiful career fundile. I got a future out here in these streets, and I got some dude that would bend over backwards and roll on the floor covering himself with sand just to get my number, making like a donut. And you are busy telling me that my height is too lofty for you, and you can't even let me know that you want to actually sit at a restaurant, chill, hang out all night long in the run up to us meeting, because you probably want me to drop my plans for you because you understand literally I'm spazzing over you every time I see you. That might be true, but I ain't no fool. I'm smarter than that. So I was like, no, we're not gonna have a man pass away on me in a hotel room when he's like 55, dying from a heart attack in the middle of like a strange session, and I gotta call Olivia Pope to be our fixer when I'm not doing it. Lo and behold, look at me still be single, and now he married that lady. It was gonna happen, but I was gonna be his side piece, and I was gonna be too in love to let go. Can we get a room? We don't gotta tell nobody. It's just me and it's just you, and what you're doing here is private. I know you really want it, but you belong to somebody else. Both wanna be together, but we can't act or accept like it's one-sided. I'm sorry, we're not doing it. I see NZD deng bruam. So bruam, what I said wahamba. He left, right? And me, as ambivalent as I was, I also let him go. He had an internal war that really, frankly, let that tsunami boil in your own heart. I don't want anything to do with it, booty. We're not doing it, okay? Yeah, so he left. And then later on that evening, something told me, like, check out the Facebook machine. I did just that. And lo and behold, the ambivalence of this man trying to give me 26th of December instead of Christmas Day did exactly that. He gave me, or at least he wanted to give me, half of a day instead of all of it. My first date with my ex, we closed the restaurant. I would have been able to close the restaurant with this guy if he had not planned a trip to travel overseas with his woman. And the two of them, lo and behold, would be uploading content on their social media at around 6 p.m. in the afternoon at OR Tambo Airport, going somewhere far away yet again. How's I get that soon? Herein lies the Karabo getting the 26th of December. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing. That was the final straw. This guy was able to string me along. Do you understand? For all of 5 seconds, really didn't last. We only went on one date, but every time he called me, I literally jumped. I was like, how high? Butwam, how high? I will be an ostrich even to stretch my neck. That's how high I will go for you. I wanted him so bad, but I was like, I'm bigger than this. I'm smarter. I'm strong. And I'm beautiful. I'm fly. And I'm leaving a guy that doesn't make sense. Some of the dude is gonna scoop me up, and it's not this Okie. Frankly, he's not the only Okie that's just gonna get what in the world I need as a woman. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. And not long after that event, I actually gave my life to Christ for real, but you know, that would be another thing that brought me to him. And once I gave my life to Jesus, that were all over the show wreaking havoc in my life, and me thinking, could it be him? Could it be him? Could it be him? I threw them in a dustbin like bad food, including this guy. I literally stopped flirting with anybody. You know how I wanted marriage like real bad? Just like a lot of women who sprint down the aisle instead of walking? I stopped doing that. Why? Because I got me some Jesus, and I belong to him now, so don't nobody rock up and give me random rubbish, because I am Christ now. I belong to somebody else. His name is Christ, and when you're in Christ, no longer do you grovel at the feet of random men exhaust fumes after they drive away from you when you are still literally trying to linger on. That's why Basadi, the only way out of your desire being for your husband, that curse that was on Eve, is Jesus. He's the only one that can make you complete in him. To a point where when a guy passes you shade, you're like, next, move on. And whether or not you feel like your biological clock is ticking, or whatever might be the thing that makes us as women feel as if though we gotta like really quickly just accept any proposal, that flees. And so you like, calmly just wait for Jesus Christ, and you just calmly go airport lounge, just like they were hanging out at an airport lounge about to go to some trip overseas. I was like, I ain't doing it. I want to hang in my own airport lounge, and that airport lounge is taking me to heaven. I want to chill. I also want to upload content on social media showing people where I'm going with my future husband. His name is Jesus. Like proper. I'm not doing it. And I stuck to my guns, and look at me now. Guess what I have? Christmas. Guess what I have today? Easter. Guess what I have? Literally all the birthdays that indeed belong to my husband. I have all of him. Jesus. He rescued me from stupidity. Let us move to the next part, that I might explain to you what then happened from that day, because I absolutely made a decision following seeing that guy after taking me out on a date the previous day, and literally trying to take me on a date on the same day that he had planned to travel overseas with his ex-girlfriend, not ex but girlfriend at the time, and she was at that stage in KZN, so she had to first fly to Joburg, and then the two of them would then go to OR Tambo and then go overseas on a holiday. This man, in the run-up to going on holiday with his girl, invited me to a work function to be with him on that work function. I saw introducing Media High to his colleagues. On the same Sunday, following the Saturday where we went on a date, he traveled overseas with these women the next day. Something that he would have had to take leave for. I was like, whoa, that was low. And that's my final straw. I drew the line that day. Let's move to the next part.